Yeah, so here we go again. I got holiday of my internships for now, I guess. Of my internship, I got holidays. Ugh. Language is harder, I'm sorry. Yesterday I went there anyways because it worked well as a home office away from home. Fewer distractions than home. Yesterday I managed to write approximately 16,000 characters of the 20,000 I needed for my internship report. And today I wrote the remaining, so I'm now sitting at 20,500. The minimum is 20, the maximum is 30, so I'm right in between. Not 25,000, but 20,500 is right in between 20 and 30,000. Um, I'm actually quite happy with how well I managed. I guess it's just the idea of having put time aside and being in a space with few distractions. Snack of the choice today is poultry roll pastry. It's the closest thing to sausage rolls you can get in this country here. Um, Cheers, I guess, or whatever one say. Bon appetit, as we say in English. And the drink of choice today is dinner in a bottle flavour coffee. The time is only 5 p.m, just past 5 p.m, but the clocks did turn to DST, so in my brain it's still 6 p.m. Even though my circadian rhythm was fucked in the correct way, I managed to unfuck it just in time for DST change to fuck it back the other way. The one thing with the hunt for character count, with having to write a minimum of characters, is instead of saying a QR code, I said things like an individual, non-fungible, two-dimensional barcode, which seemed kind of cheap, but I didn't set the character minimums, and I have all the content I could have, and I needed to stretch my characters. I also got 3 calls from a suppressed call ID today. Apparently it was my lawyer, whom I'd initially contacted in the middle of January, so about a quarter year ago, to be fair. They then later sent an email asking for appointment, because, surprise, I do not always accept calls from suppressed call IDs. Why would I? It's not like I have any friends who might be pursued by law enforcement or so to the point where they'd have to call me. And even if they all know I'm not the person to call, because I'm shit at handling those situations. It's kind of a bummer, but that's how it is. I went shopping. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm having to think about what to talk about. That's why I got poultry roll, rolled poultry pastry roll. There we go. Managed to only shop for about half the money I did last few times. First off, I'm currently a bit tight on it, so can't afford the fancy shit. Even though I did get some dinner in bottles, that's to some degree non-optional these days, which I guess is good for them. But it should last me quite a while, which means it's less than a fiver a day on my groceries, so that's quite solid. I also managed to send out an email in regards to my uni schedule, because just today when I checked, wasn't on there 2 weeks ago, wasn't there last week. I had lectures appear as recent as soon, not as recent, it's not past, as future, as soon as next week. Now, next week, I'm already committed to something else, which is my internship. My prof had given me the blessing to do my internship till the end of April. Though admittedly I said, with considering the regular courses, but 5 in 4 days is not regular. That's more than one would expect. And I'm hoping for all the tutors and profs' understanding. If not, well, potluck, but missing a week ain't gonna kill me, so at least one I am really looking forward to, because it's the legal aspect of copyright and so on. I'm somewhat familiar with it, but not enough to the point where I'd say I've mastered it, and I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I've written up license agreements, but they were between students, me and other students. They should uphold within a court of law nonetheless, so meh. Today I drove to uni because I still need to do some of the work, and because with Welcome Week I'd told some people I'd be there in case I had questions, and I told my student representation I'd be there to represent the studentship, but there was no interest, which comes to no surprise, because I've done it for 3 years now. By now I know, you know. For the rest of the week, I still got the appointment tomorrow with a lawyer, and then I still got to write up minimum 6,000, maximum 10,000 characters for my free project report, and got to prepare a presentation, though I might be able to do that the week after next, so presentation is non-essential this week, but I'd still like to get it out of the way. And I guess I got to shape the documentation, do some editing, add some attachments, etc., etc. I am dressed for summer these days. Vest, t-shirt and shorts. Because just before or after I'd done the last one of these, I guess, I was sweaty AF. And I didn't like it, and I thought it might still be because I had a cold, but it was over 20 degrees centigrade outside. So I decided I'd change my clothing, and it certainly was not because I still had a cold. I was just way overdressed for the weather conditions. That's like something good to be known. Today I found some information one cannot Google, because no matter what you put in, a three-letter combination which is essential for the product identity happens to overlap with a more commonly used different three-letter abbreviation. Tango Sierra Foxtrot is some vehicle fire service use, apparently, in the German language. Admittedly, one could have used a VPN. I should have considered that, but I didn't know what country it was from, so it wouldn't have been very helpful. Turns out it's from Belgium. It's just a brand for storage carts / wagons to use in storage, because I need some stuff for my documentation for my internship, so I need to write some stuff up, and I've done it. I'm really glowing internally with happiness and pride that I've actually managed to write 5.5-6 pages of solid text within a working day and a half, and edited. Like, it's already proofread, which is nice. I like it. Like, it's rock solid. With DST having been enacted, daylight savings time, it feel odd because I believe to some degree my circadian rhythm is adjusted. Like, I wouldn't mind going home and going to bed now, but it's not even 6 p.m. It's just because, first off, well, my circadian rhythm was effed anyways, with being ill and all. And second off, DST is never pleasant. I mean, I believe this is the DST change in the year, where on Monday after DST change, heart attacks spike, and then they average out over the rest of the week to the same average as regular weeks. Might be half a year apart though, might be the fall equinox. Yeah, I'm kind of sad that my internship's going to end, but I got other obligations. Got to finish uni, and once I'm done with that, I can return. Sorry for the lorry in the background. I don't even know why I have the window open. I'm not even smoking. Beep, beep, beep. There we go. No, I can still hear it. You should not be able to, I guess. You probably will. Who knows? Oh yeah, it's because it's moving the container right smack dab in front of me. Skip, not container. Wrong translation in my brain. It's lifting a skip right smack dab in front of me. 20-foot skip. Let me see, I might be able to, without doctoring myself, there you go. 20-foot skip with a small one inside. But that is the precise reason I parked where I did. Because they'd be able to pick that up without towing me by accident. Or ramming me, I guess. Oh, another thing is the weather has been absolutely fabulous. I mean, you might have seen just now, it is somewhat rainy out. There we go. But I actually quite like it. It's a bit wet, but that's what umbrellas are for, to be fair. It's not too warm, it's not too windy, not too bright, not too dark, not too warm or cold, which is really nice. What's the temperature outside? Let me check, actually. Yeah, it's 14.5 degrees centigrade outside. That's a really good temperature to have outside, in my opinion. Okay, if you stood somewhere where there's wind chill, you can't stand there indefinitely, at least not dressed the way I am. But why would you be stood somewhere with wind chill without working or so anyways? That's what the indoors is for. Funny mindset, I guess I have, but that's how it is. There we go, window back open, lorry's gone. Oh yeah, instead of lorry, because, surprise, writing and character counts for uni, I actually wrote out, I didn't even do the abbreviation of Hotel Golf Victor, I wrote out heavy goods vehicle of more than 7.5 tons, which felt really rather cheap. But it's not like I have much of a say in the character count, so meh. Do was necessary. There was things I didn't think I could get away with de-abbreviating, I guess is the correct term. De-abbreviating? Just guessing here. Where I could not get away with using the full written out version. I did write 4 foot by 4 foot instead of 4 apostrophe x 4 apostrophe, which is a lot of characters. But volts I did not write out, amperes I did not write out. Square millimeters for cross sections for cables I did not write out. And that would have been a lot of characters, but I did need those, and I was desperate enough, you know. I wrote 4 foot by 2000 millimeters in one thing, and the 4 foot was written out, the 2000 millimeters not, but I feel is correct because 4 is a small enough number that one would write it out, whereas 2000 is significantly too big, like orders of magnitude. Yeah, funny how that worked, really. A whole different subject. Let me open a whole another can of worms. Though consumption of cannabis has been legal in this country since forever, possession was not legal until the 1st of April, which is Monday this week. It's currently Wednesday, so 2 days ago. One may now possess up to 25 grams and carry it with them. And in one's flat, one is allowed to possess up to 60 grams, well, on one's property. The thing is, you can't legally buy it, you have to grow it. And I guess to some degree it's curiosity, to some degree it's the idea of had a long day, have arrived at home, am no longer operating heavy machinery for the day, and to users come down. The only thing is I've really got to look out to not abuse it, to just use it. So I ordered myself some seeds from the Netherlands. I made sure to get some with good CBD content and not too much THC because I'm not a hardcore stoner, surprise. I'm kind of looking forward to the experiment, and I don't have any plants in my flat as of current, so I will have a plant in my flat. Though I'll probably have it in my bathroom, which does not have any windows. Yeah, but I bought some sweet cheese seeds that are auto-flowering and feminized, so they should be easy to grow. And I can talk about this legally because it's completely legal, which feels weird because for the majority of my life, well, all of my life but 3 days, what I am talking about now would have been illegal in this country. And not just misdemeanor, but felonious illegal. And now it's legal. It's kind of weird how that works. Oh, and I did spend the money on buying them seeds, even though I really don't got the money, just because it's a long return project. I mean, it'll take a couple of months till one is able to harvest. It might take weeks to get them, who knows. But might as well. And to be fair, if I have to make the decision, there might very well be days on which I decide to roll a spliff rather than operate heavy machinery. Which one might very well argue I would, is good for the environment because I'll not be driving a diesel all the time. Then again, I don't actually know if I'll manage to overcome my fear of people for public transport. Thus, a question yet to be answered. I haven't bought any growing equipment. I think I'll go buy the DIY place after this here now because Good Time is still open for a change. Just get myself like 4 litres of dirt. I am growing them in dirt, not hydroponically. A couple of pots and so on. One is allowed to have 3 live plants at any one point in time. I think I'll grow one, or I'll try and grow one first. Just because that way I'll have 5 attempts instead of fewer. I bought 5 seeds. Well, actually, I bought 5 seeds twice. But one of them is not auto-flowering. One of the species I got. Which means I'm not going to try that until I've successfully grown the others. Just because, meh. And shipping was a tenner, so it was worth buying 10 seeds at once. And it's all legal. It just feels so weird. I mean, in this car at this time, I could have 25 grams of grass here, and it'd be completely legal. I mean, there's obviously things people have been doing all my life, and I've known about it, and I know several people who've been growing and smoking for all my life, I guess. For as long as I've known them, it's fairer to say, because many of them I have not known all of my life, but I would not be surprised if they had then also. And now that's completely legal, which means there's no longer a hushed subject, though the cultural shift will probably take a while. Probably won't find people like me talking about, oh yeah, I've decided I'm going to try and grow some. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works now. Then again, it's a kebab for every 2 seeds, basically, with buying seeds, which is a lot of money. But it'll be a fun experiment, and I guess a potential hobby to take on. Not getting high, but growing, just for fun. And every now and then maybe baking some. Who knows? Yes, Kanji. Can Golf. Charlie Alpha November Golf is the abbreviation for the cannabis law. G because law in German is Gesetz, which starts with golf. But that has completely not just decriminalised but legalised growing and owning, which is crazy. I mean, obviously it's still not allowed to operate heavy machinery under influence, just as you are not with alcohol. But I'd argue marijuana kills fewer people than alcohol does, for sure. I mean, yeah, okay, one can argue about drug wars and war on drugs in America and so on, where people shoot one another because one is not supposed to have some plants. But my personal opinion, you don't got to overdo it. You don't got to do the heavy industry shit with no CBD and 30% THC or whatever. But some variations of cannabis you'd find in nature. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. Not that I'd do them all, smoke them all, but I'm open to experiment. That felt good to get out, I guess. Huh. Actually, let me take a thumbnail. Overlay broccoli on the cigarette, of course. There we go. That's certainly thumbnail taken care of. Would never smoke grass on a car, but just because, even though you may not be driving it and you might not have a key to drive it, it's still really rather questionable when you're pulled over and you have the smell in the car, so wouldn't want to risk it. Same as I wouldn't want to risk alcohol being spilt in a car. Whew, just that thumbnail got my eye red. Smoked it out. That was my dad's first album. I have a tape somewhere. I still need to digitise it sometime. Surprise. I know very few musicians who do not consume the devil's lettuce. It's kind of funny how that works. I mean, with film, I know both kinds, people who do consume the devil's lettuce and not. But I strongly suspect the amount of people who will be publicly known to consume the devil's lettuce, the killer weed, in the coming years will rise. Just because now is no longer as hush a subject. Obviously, it's still a hushish. Oh shit! That pun was not intended. Subject. A hush-ish subject. Hashish, haha. Just because culture and all of that will take a while to change, but it'll change eventually. And hopefully that has started now. The killer weed. Broccoli. I think it's going to be a fun experiment to try and grow some, just because usually I have no reason to care for plants, but now I finally do have a reason to try and grow some plants, I guess. I mean, I could always try and grow potatoes or so, but I have no balcony also, so there's very limited real estate in my flat. And a lot of people have decorative plants, but I don't see the point in those. They make dirt, you need to take care of them, and they take space. Some people get something from them, I guess, I just don't. Yeah, funny how that works. Huh. I'm wondering which DIY place I'll go to now, because there's one that way that I've only been to once. Of course, only of the chain I like. I'm not even considering others. And there's one that way that I've been to plenty of times. But the one that way is slightly further by road, because down that way, which I'd have to go to get back there, a bridge is restricted to 2 meters width, actual width, not on paper. And in reality, this motor vehicle is 2 meter 30 wide. Though I would likely fit, I would not feel good while doing so, so I'd have to take a detour going that way to go back that way to reach the one back there. But the one over there will have more traffic. I haven't been there as much, and I don't like their parking situation nearly as much, so I strongly suspect I'll go back there and take the detour. It'll only be a couple of K, and I like driving in my car. It's not quite a Jaguar. Yeah, in the end of the day, even though I would never consider consuming such substances, in my opinion, everything, including heroin or whatever, should be at least decriminalised. Not particularly legalised, but at least decriminalised. And I guess that's a bit of an odd thing, because usually they are not. I mean, there is people profiting of other people's addictions, which is not great, particularly if those addictions destroy those people. But some people will get the addiction and they don't care if it's legal or not. And once they're addicted, it's not very practical saying, "Oh, I told you so." So might as well have them know ahead of time, or care for them once they do have the addiction. As a social state, who knows? But reefer, I don't have the slightest problem with being legalised. That, though I'm not a pothead, that's the crazy thing. I mean, I know plenty of them, and nothing wrong with them. Wouldn't want them operating heavy machinery while they're baked, but I wouldn't want to operate heavy machinery myself while I'm baked, so fine by me, I guess. Anyways, hope you two find good legal news every now and then. Stay safe. Cheerio.